The workshop school does more than provide an education. It builds the students' character and gives them a sense of pride and self-worth. The Uptown Theater right here in North Philadelphia has been closed for decades, but after a successful candlelight vigil held for the late entertainer Prince, it seems that multiple Philadelphia music organizations would like to help revitalize the once historic landmark. Whenever you look around, it seems like smartphones have taken over. Anywhere you look, no matter where you are, there's always someone on their device. Although they do help us in our daily lives, there are some negative effects to constantly being locked in. This organized group of Trump supporters did have a permit by the city, but they are not being allowed to march right now. They're being quarantined at 5th and Chestnut, and they're not going anywhere anytime soon. Meanwhile, the Disrupt MAGA protesters are out in the streets currently.
All right, one local school making sure students ready to hit the ground running in the workforce as soon as they graduate. Junior reporter Dominic Barone from Temple here to explain. Good morning to you.
Thank you. So the Workshop School in West Philadelphia, they give their kids the option of doing hundreds of different projects to handcraft their own education. West Philadelphia off of 48th and Walnut is the Workshop School, and a completely different approach to public education. They teach through project-based learning. This school caters to students who are looking for hands-on experience. There's an auto shop downstairs where kids can learn how to fix mechanical problems and body damage. Junior Giovanni Brabazon says he's learned how to fix anything.
Rotors, brakes, fuel pumps, upper intake manifolds.
Students have built a kit car which they converted to biodiesel and even learned how to professionally mix their own paint. The auto program here has proven to be successful, as senior Amir Brooks has already been hired by the city.
So after high school, I'm already planning. I have a job with the Office of Fleet Management, body shop.
For students who want to stay hands-on but aren't into cars, they can become part of the woodshop class, which deals with more than just wood. They made an agreement with the new Saxby's coffee shop on Drexel's campus to remodel the interior and produce some of the decor.
So we did the tile inset tile, and then we did the hexagon boxes.
The Workshop School does more than provide an education. It builds the students' character and gives them a sense of pride and self-worth.
Middle school for me wasn't very good, but when I came here, I turned it all around.
I didn't really know that I was going to be able to cut metal and cut wood. Like, I feel like a construction worker here.
If you believe in yourself and believe in your work and your craft, that's what they taught me, to have some confidence in myself.
Isn't that such a cool place? I was actually there like 2 weeks ago.
This video doesn't do it any justice. I mean, these kids are going to college at Drexel and CCP. They're building composters, watersheds that you put in your car.
Amazing work.
I could have made like a 30-minute video on these
I know.
guys.
Well, we
They were
appreciate
incredible.
that video,
Thank
Dominic.
you.
That was great. All right, more to come on Good Day. Stay with us here on Fox 29.
That is the sound of handball, a sport more popular in Philadelphia than you'd think. And the people who play it here absolutely love it. Wally Amaro grew up playing handball. He loved the sport so much, he started a nonprofit called the Pennsylvania Handball Association.
The association started basically with a group of guys. We were all handball players, and we were advocating for not only handball, but to actually get handball courts within these communities.
Amaro was inspired to start the nonprofit because handball helped him stay out of trouble when he was younger.
Kept me involved and kept me occupied, kept my mind off of a lot of things.
Amaro is a professional handballer. He's only one of 2 players in Philadelphia with an A-level ranking. He plays for the Puerto Rican national team and has played all over the world, including Colombia, Italy, and soon Ireland. In handball, the first person to score 21 points wins the game. Like tennis, the ball can't bounce twice, but only the person or team serving can score. The Handball Association hosts a tournament every year at different locations around the city.
So June 17th is part of our annual citywide handball tournament, which is basically a community-based event in 5 different locations. And then July 18th, we have a grand finale, which is the finals, where those 5 champions from those 5 different communities converge all in one location.
Community members come out to help and support Amaro's tournament, like 23-year-old Kyle Perez. He encourages anyone and everyone to come out and play because it's more than just a game.
Come try it out, and then we're all family here. We all got something to give in this handball family.
These kids play handball whenever they can, and Miguel Berberina backs that up by saying,
Handball's life.
Reporting in Feltonville for Philadelphia Neighborhoods, I'm Dominic Barone. Philadelphia is known as a largely Democratic and sanctuary city, so it was quite unusual when a Donald Trump support rally was held at Independence Hall this past Saturday, right in the heart of Old City. Trump supporters gathered peacefully at an enclosed grass area where Hillary Clinton had her rally the night before the election. In comparison to protests and rallies we see in Philadelphia, this was a small outing for the GOP backers. It started around 11:30 a.m. with speakers advocating to remain in support of Donald Trump's initiatives.
I came here today just to kind of talk about, my vision, for the country, as well that correlates with the Trump administration.
But this support rally quickly turned into a protest as Antifa demonstrators, short for anti-fascist, gathered for what they called Disrupt MAGA, and it certainly became violent at times. The protesters circled the block for almost 2 hours, chanting and letting their voice be heard. It was certainly an afternoon of divided extremes, but not everyone was there to wreak havoc.
It's all about encouraging these discourses and making sure that we're safe doing so. That's why we got all these police out here.
To cause more disruption, the Antifa organized quickly once they knew the route the Trump supporters were going to take, so they decided to march it instead. This organized group of Trump supporters did have a permit by the city, but they are not being allowed to march right now. They're being quarantined at 5th and Chestnut, and they're not going anywhere anytime soon. Meanwhile, the Disrupt MAGA protesters are out in the streets currently. Once police made those protesters disperse, they let the Republican supporters march to City Hall after about an hour of being held.
Trump, 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 Trump.
Although the large group of Antifa had left, Trump supporters were met near City Hall by a less violent but equally passionate group of opposition. The Trump voters were supposed to march all the way to the Art Museum, but police told them that at 15th and JFK Boulevard, they would not provide them with a police escort any further and made everyone go their separate ways. I'm Dominic Barone, reporting from Center City, Philadelphia. This isn't your average body of water. Behind me is an entire sea of debt. And through 4 years of education, there's one thing students don't learn how to do, and that's how to repay your loans. Unless fully funded by parents or scholarships, there's not a chance anyone can come out of college without student loan debt.
Most students leave with about, average-wise, the average right now is probably like $34,000. That's what the census is, but I believe it's more than that.
That's why Temple University set up the Financial Wellness Fair at the Bell Tower. Representatives from the bursar's office came to give students tips and advice on how to get out of a 5- or 6-figure hole.
You shouldn't wait until your senior year to then get caught off guard of how much you've really borrowed. So I think if students were really aware of how much they borrowed, it might stop them from over borrowing.
A lot of students don't actually know how much they owe, but it's easy to find out.
Go to NSLDS, it's a National Student Loan Database. It's a government website. It keeps tracks of every federal loan through financial aid.
There's about 44.2 million Americans with student loans. Since this is a growing problem, we talked to students on campus to see what they know about their debt situation. How much do you know about student loan repayment?
I know nothing
I know it's
about
deferred.
it.
Very little.
I know nothing.
Do you know how much you're in debt, or do you not know?
I'm not really sure.
I know I got about 50,000 in loans.
6 figures. I'm like upwards of 6 figures.
I'm Dominic Barone, reporting from the Bell Tower at Temple University.